Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
You
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz. What the fuck is that? I'm assuming that's a puss, but she if it is, yeah, she lick them. At least I ain't got a bunch of baby daddies. So apparently the OG of Red Pill Debate got cooked by a feminist lesbian. That's the word on the street up on the whatever podcast. What's her name? Charlie.
Been debating for hours now, man.
Yes.
I did actually have one question.
Yeah, sure.
If you were to try to convert me, a staunch feminist that has loved going to school, loved the freedom to choose, my career path, loved the freedom to do as I please with my body, how would you convert me to, being not into feminism, to no longer being a feminist? Like
to sell you on my worldview.
Yes, like how would you sell me?
I will answer to this.
Okay.
Even though what you're asking me is the hardest thing.
Being impossible to sell a lesbian feminist if that's truly what it is, bro. Because most of the ammunition comes to continuing to propagate the world, but a muncher could give 2 fucks about propagating the world, dog. One of the most difficult things there is to do is change somebody's mind, especially on a topic as emotionally charged as feminism. But anyway, let's continue.
If you wanted me to give you the most convincing argument that I possibly can, it would just be this: that everything we talk about is actually you curtailing freedom, not me. And everything that we end up ultimately discussing seems to come down to the fact that you just want to kind of engage in degenerate behaviors. And that's the only freedom you seem to care about, the freedom to promiscuously have sex and then have an abortion to take care of that if you need to, even if it's the case that by removing that, there would be less unwanted babies born. You still think that we need to have that because, people just need to be able to fuck if they want and be promiscuous if they want and have STDs if they want. It's like, it always seems like the freedom that you guys advocate for is only a freedom towards degeneracy and never actually about freedoms that are really intrinsic to the human experience. And kind of even more than that, I would just point this last thing out, which is, if you had a society where it was really full of more people like me, right? It was full of people who did take their religion seriously, and they took their family dynamic seriously, and they took the things that they were doing seriously in regards to morality and ethics and how to treat people, and not sacrificing the whole for the small percentage of fucking LGBTQ people and this and that. How would the world really be a worse place? Objectively, how would the world that you live in really be worse? I just don't think that I've ever heard a compelling argument for how it would. And so I think that I would try to make for you, instead of logical appeals, I would just make a purely emotional appeal that, like, the world for you would actually be a much better place if there was more Christian nationalists like me and less Charlies with your worldview.
Well, I wouldn't be able to go to school if that was, people's
women. Listen,
because again, it was indeed feminism that,
Yeah, I've heard this argument a lot, but can I just point something out?
Sure.
That with this idea that women could be educated, right? And they, by the way, they basically always were able to. They flew around with elites all over the place, especially early feminists, and they went abroad to study and things like this. But what that became was women should get educated. And what that became was a lot of student debt and a massive fucking racket. And college is not about rewarding the best and the brightest, or not everybody could go. Okay? It's really right now, the degree that you have, an 8th grader 50 years ago knows more than you fucking know. Okay? About history, about math, about social sciences. An 8th grader 60 years ago knows more than you do right now. And
that
it's
really
like,
what you think?
yeah, not only do I think it, I think that if I gave you a test that an 8th grader would have 60 years ago, you would fail it with your college degree. And the reason for that is because you didn't get any fucking education at school. You got a lot of student debt at school. Yeah, that's what you ended up with, because it's become a giant racket. And if it was really about the best and the brightest, then not everybody could go. And maybe everyone shouldn't go, because it's really for most of it, the stuff that you learn in high school.
Hustle.
Right. Why is it that every high school educated person I come across seemingly is just as intelligent as every college person I come across?
That's an interesting perspective. I haven't had a similar experience in my lifetime.
Yeah, well, you have a bias preference, and I don't. Like, you're biased towards elites, right? Elitism.
I do, I grew up in an educated household, but I was also primarily raised by a very conservative father who was also a doctor. So was my grandfather.
And was your
Extremely
conservative father a dummy?
No.
Then
he's
why was he?
incredibly
Then why was he conservative?
Because it benefits him personally to
Oh, so he was just immoral.
for pursuing his own ends. I don't know if I would say that.
You're not sure if your own father was immoral or not? You're not.
No.
You're not quite sure.
No, I mean, unlike all of us here, my dad is responsible for saving thousands of lives. He's put out a lot of good in this world.
And would your father
He will
agree?
leave this earth with a clear conscience, no matter what his beliefs are.
Can
even as an
I ask you
atheist.
this? Would your father, who saved all these thousands of people, agree more with my worldview or yours?
I don't know enough about your worldview, I think, to agree or disagree, but I think that he'd be.
How about his political alignment? Would his political alignment line up more with mine or yours?
What is your alignment politically? Like, what do you want
right-
the government to
far
to
right
look
wing,
like?
yeah, far right wing conservative. You could say my political alignment would be something more akin to limiting suffrage, to people who getting it back towards what our founders had. Some other things would be like fiscal conservatism. I have a belief in that. I have a very strong dislike for socialism. Have a very strong dislike for communism. Have a very strong dislike for eliminating people's access to capital, which I know brings more people out of poverty than any other single system on planet Earth. Like, would he agree more with that type of stuff? I have a strong preference against mass migration, and I think the government should be doing more about it. I think that we should lock up our southern border. I think that we should do a lot more when it comes to deregulating gun control. I think, like, stuff like that. Would he be more in line with that?
I think that my dad is he skews libertarian more than anything. And I think
Well, libertarians are definitely going to like that more than your view.
I think your proposal to limit suffrage, I think would
Libertarians love that idea generally.
limiting access to voting, limiting people's
No.
individual freedoms.
Well,
and
wait a second. That's
powers.
not limiting their freedom. What it's doing is stopping.
away the right to vote?
No, it's stopping you fuckers from collectivizing and becoming tyrants. And that's what you've done with the vote. You've collectivized and become fucking tyrants, a tyrant of the majority, a tyranny of the majority, a slight majority, and you become fucking tyrants, just like you were during COVID-19. That's not, you didn't free anybody. Who are you freeing with your fucking policies that
Power
are...
that the executive branch has now. I mean, like, the executive branch is the strongest it's been in ages. Like, what do you think
No, it's
about
not.
tyrants?
It has less power than it did under Jackson. Significantly
Okay,
less
I
power
said
than it did under
recently.
Jackson.
I
And by
said
the way, can I
recently.
just point this out, right? When you're talking about Donald Trump, he has the same exact powers that the president Joe Biden had before him. The same ones. He doesn't have a single additional power. Not a single one.
What about the bullshit that the Supreme Court ruled that he cannot be held responsible for specific illegal acts that he committed?
Yeah, well, look, this was early understanding of case law with the president, is that you're not going to be able to allow states to prosecute the president of the United States, or else a state who was just
that's
upset.
tyranny.
No, it's not.
That's
It's the opposite. A state that's upset at the president could bring him in for bullshit, trumped up charges, and he's the federal executive. That would create a constitutional crisis. Literally overnight, it would create a constitutional crisis. We have diplomatic immunity for diplomats. They come in and commit a crime, we can't put them in jail. Even though they committed a crime, we can't put them in jail. They have diplomatic immunity. Our own president doesn't have immunity from state prosecution. Yeah, he kind of has to. Otherwise, California Governor Newsom right now, Newscom, would bring him up on charges of treason if he could, and would try him in California under the state code if he could. He would do that.
Love that. I hope he does.
Okay, well then guess what? If that's the case, then why shouldn't the president have the ability to do that to Gavin Newsom?
He could. If he wanted to, I don't know, start a case against Gavin Newsom.
No, I'm saying, why does the federal authority not give him the purview to do that? For the same reason.
To charge him on a state level?
To charge him at a federal level. He can't just be like, oh, he committed treason and go charge him. You can't have the state charging the executive branch. You can't have them doing that.
I think you can.
No,
well,
not only can you not, the Supreme Court even ruled you can't.
I think you should be able to. I think that's ridiculous. I think we need to be able to hold our leaders accountable and not put too much power in their hands, because I am against authoritarianism.
Okay, so let's say California does that. They say, hey, we're going to go ahead and bring up Donald Trump and he needs to appear in court. How does California enforce that?
In this day and age, I don't know. That gets tricky. I wouldn't trust Donald Trump to.
Are they going to send California agents to arrest the president of the United States, do you think?
We could send the National Guard and start a civil war.
The National Guard.
Our National Guard.
Girl.
The California National Guard. But that would be treason.
So I'll try to rephrase this. I'm going to reframe. And I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think, honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So, Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
you
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What does that
You're a
mean?
fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What
daddies?
did I just say, dyke?
Your wife with the 3 baby daddies?
I'm sorry, dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to...
Do the women that you try
show
to...
your hatred against...
Do the women that you try...
She got him. She got him. Real talk, I'm honestly surprised by the response, though, bro. Like, he hot and bothered, bro. Like, he want to reach over that table and smash that bitch's face in the table. You feel me? But, like, if what she's saying is true, touche. You know what I'm saying? Like, checkmate. I ain't know that. I ain't know that cuz his wife has multiple kids from multiple other men, and then, the optics of it look crazy. If you are up here pretty much a whole, I don't know what he considers himself, man, but by the vibe he gets and where I see him personally on the feeds, I see him. It's definitely a conservative red pill advocate going against the whole movement and single mothers or whatnot. And she's pretty much saying, how could you have the worldview you have, living the life you have, bro? Like, you can't even do it for yourself, but you out here trying to tell other people to do it, bro. And that's, the professional response would be like, that is, and try to explain his situation. I guess ain't no explaining it, bro. Like, it is what it is, dog. You know what I mean? But, any other time, someone in this situation wouldn't be given any credibility or even ears or eyes to Pete, man. But, the life you live and what you put out don't need to be in alignment here in society today. As long as you're saying the things people want to hear, they don't give a fuck what you're doing behind the scenes. It's like every other day somebody get exposed to doing this, do that, and do this and doing that. But, fast forward 2 months from then on, they right back at what they was doing before. I'd imagine that's going to take place now, man. But, I rock with Adam. He's a professional debater, and the takes he has, a lot of the takes I agree with, bro. But, you can't be out here leading men a certain way when you doing things you wouldn't want the men you're leading to do. And if you got multiple baby mothers, that looks bad. And it looks extra crazy that you got this stoic-ass feminist lesbian out here calling your shit, bro. Like, God damn, bro. Checkmate. And then you respond like that too, bro. What do you say? You ditch licker, you dyke, you skip. I don't know none of. I ain't never heard ditch licker in my life. Yo, say it's probably a compliment though. Yeah, I licked them ditches. And what? You know what I mean? At least I ain't got a bunch of baby daddies. Ooh, hey, this little lesbian cooking, boy.
Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth.
Like, it ain't shit if it's facts, bro. She ain't talk, and then real shit, she ain't talking shit about his wife. She talking shit about you, fam. Like, that's what you wifed. Don't get mad at the observer, bro. I'm just peeping what you putting down, pimp. Oh, Lord, and then look at Brian.
My worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
You
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You
lick sniz. What the fuck is that? I'm assuming that's a puss, but she if it is, yeah, she lick him. It's crazy word.
And you lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did I
daddies?
just say? Dyke?
Your wife with the 3 baby
I'm sorry,
daddies?
dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you
About the
try
same,
to
bro.
Do the women that you try
show
to?
your hatred against?
The women
they,
that you try
convince them
to?
that they shouldn't?
You know,
like,
Charlie, did I
pursue
bring
women? Do they know
Charlie?
that
Did
your
I bring
wife
your
is 5
family?
years older?
Did I bring any of your
You
family
called me
into
fucking
anything?
stupid.
Did I
You
say
called
anything
me
about
fucking
your
stupid.
family being stupid, Charlie?
could.
It's
You could
because
go
I'm
for it.
better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed, and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people on are bullshit. Because
Let's
you
go
are not
through
a
it.
traditional man.
Chuck, let's go through it.
You are not a traditional
Let's
man.
go through it, Chuck. Tell me what I'm doing which is immoral.
What you're doing, which is a.
Yo, she got him. She got him. She got him, bro. You playing that game? She ain't saying what you're doing is immoral, fam. She's saying that you don't practice what you preach. But y'all gotta confirm that with me in the comments, bro. Like, if that's common knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should just stop talking about that. Because you have no credibility in that regard. You can't tell men to do this if you ain't doing it. You feel me? Yeah, he got cooked. Yikes.